already starts. So this kind of point-to-point, kailangan planado, talagang gastusan yan, dinalagyan yan ng tao, women are at the forefront. We literally put women as peacemakers among rivals, and we're looking at personalities pa rin, not party-based. But we're fighting for party-based. Hopefully, in the years to come, we're looking at the barn elections as 3, district, sectoral, at mga party-based. So you will see election next year as a template sana for a national reform-based, party-based parties.
Thank you, Ms. Amira. We'll see Mr. Oscar. We'd like to ask you.
Oscar Moravi here from the Workers' Party. I've been listening to all of you. The points are good and sometimes bad. Political reform cannot be legislated. That's point number 1, because of the background of politics. Political reform should come from within the party. Congressman Aaron said about ang hindi natin kakalimutan is political party have candidates to win elections. Paano tayo mananalo ng eleksyon kung wala tayong mga pondo? So magagaling ang pondo sa donors, which are the political business dynasties. Mag-usap tayo ng theory, dogma, theology, whatever. Paano ka mananalo kung wala kang pondo para tumakbo? Sino may pondo? Political parties na may dynasties, family dynasties, businessmen. Anong solusyon niyo sa political dynasties? That's my question.
Good question. At saka siguro, is it wise to confront political dynasties now?
Okay, from a purely public policy perspective, political dynasties per se is not the problem. The problem is the representative, is the candidate, is the official. Okay? Kahit yung mga walang kamag-anak, kung sobrang kurakot, kung sobrang mag-power trip, ganun din, di ba? Remember, Mr. Duterte, when he was appointed noong 1987, wala namang, ano ba yan, kamag-anak sa partido niya, sa politika. Ngayon, tignan mo sila, di ba? Ganun din si former Vice President Bina, human rights lawyer, nilagay sila. Where are they now? Di ba? Pero kung hindi kurakot yung mga yan, would we even raise political dynasty as an issue? So ultimately, the problem is corruption. Di ba? Regardless of your surname, kung hindi ka kurakot, kung tinutupad mo yung mandato mo at tinutulang mo yung interest ng constituente mo, then it's not your fault. Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, and also in other countries, normally yung anak, gusto niyang i-emulate yung tatay. So ibig sabihin, kung magaling na public servant yung tatay, hindi ka na pwedeng pumunta doon because of your surname. That's not fair and it's unconstitutional. Kasi dito sa atin, yung ating demokrasya, anybody, for as long as qualified sila na meet yung constitutional requirements, pwede kang tumakbo. So let us focus on the making corrupt people accountable, and we won't have this conversation ever.
Right now, who actually wouldn't really legislate against themselves. It's a vehicle for them to perpetuate themselves into power. But maybe on a positive note, let me also stress that when I was the National Youth Commission Chair, I had to speak against political dynasty in front of BBM, President BBM, and Amy Marcos beside me. And lo and behold, may pasa naman yung batas, even if chair nun si Senator Bongbong Marcos sa SK, Sangguniang Kabataan. So I think there's this, chance, and you can see now, it opened the doors for more student leaders na magagaling because hindi lang mga anak ni barangay captain, etc., ni mayor ang tumatakbo because they are not prohibited per se. Of course, it's not a perfect law. I think there's still something that can be done about it to amend it. But primarily, it opened the doors for more young people to actually contest power in their local field. And I think if that is telling of something that it is possible to talk, there's an alignment of interest and purpose, and it was passed. with all those parties and all those politicians signing that into law.
Okay.
Quick lang, as a matter of practice kasi, palagay ko nakakadala talaga. Kasi yung nakita natin from experience, tama naman yung sinasabi ni Senator Trillanes na the bottom line is dapat matino ka regardless of kamag-anak ka, kaibigan ka or what, no? Pero palagay ko from experience, malungkot yung karanasan natin eh. Lesson yan eh, kahit ako nakita ko yan sa, in my 3 terms in Congress, nakita ko rin talaga yung, hindi talaga siya nakatulong kasi yung mga nailagay doon, nagiging ano na siya eh, nagiging parang normal na lang ito, hindi na nakakagulat. Ay, Kong, kumusta? Asan yung, ay, siya na yung governor, nagpalit kami, ako muna ngayon. Parang ano eh, na-trivialize yung paghawak ng kapangyarihan sa politika at pagdala talaga, ano pa talaga yung intention mo, bakit tayo naging mga, nandito tayo sa Kongreso o may bitbit tayong political power. Palagay ko yung karanasan, yung buhay na karanasan ang nakita natin eh. Pero yun nga, bottom line is kung matino kang tao, regardless of ano, at tama rin yun. Hindi nga kailangan ng legislation eh, kung katinuan ang pag-uusapan eh, no? Parang basic ano yan eh, pero wala, may cultural ano na eh, may cultural attack na eh. Nagiging normal na, yung hindi normal. Nagiging normal na yung rap. And in fact, kahit yung appreciate doon sa kalagayan ng mamamayan. Kasi I was so, nag-react talaga ako, yung pag pinag-usapan yung kahirapan, tapos ang sasabihin lang, magpasalamat kayo kasi buti kayo, meron pa. My God, hindi nga eh. Bumaba ang quality ng pagiging tao. Yung human dignity ang ina-attack ngayon. Kaya ito kailangan talaga, kaya sabi ko hindi simple. I agree with Atty. Na hinaharap natin hindi simple. May cultural attack na nangyari na medyo kailangan ng malaki-laki talagang hamon. And palagay ko malaki ang role ng youth doon at sa ating lahat.
We have 5 minutes to go. Si, tama. In order lang. Si Leon, si Paeng, si Senator, tapos si Mr. George, tapos si Attorney Bo, and then si Attorney Frank.
Baka kasi tanongin na ng political person, ano ginagawa nyo? Di ba ganun tayo eh, nagsusumbatan. So, kami naman sa action, we don't have a clear policy at the political guys. Diba? We try to temper the last election, mayroong mag-ama. Yung isa hindi namin inalaw because dynasties sila. There's a clear ano eh. So, but we can only do so much, no? And they will remain anonymous. But ang hirap lang talaga, we can police our own ranks. But I think it's important to legislate it so that we are bound by the law or the rules talaga. So, we can only do so much. I mean, let's temper our expectation. But we have to police ourselves, yes. But I think nothing beats the law passed into an anti-political dynasty.
Paeng.
Yung political reform, various layers yan, from legislation, culture change, awareness, etc. And agree ako sa sinabi ni Leon na mahirap, pero kinaya yan. Kaya nga nalipasan natin the first ever landmark legislation against dynasty, yung sa SK reform. And I think that's something that we should celebrate. Yun nga lang, alam natin na mahirap siya. So, mahalaga na baka may mga other legislative reforms na pwede unahin. Yung sa campaign finance, definitely important to temper yung mga sinabi ni Sir kanina na syempre, ang magdodonate dyan kung walang state subsidy ay business, other political dynasties. So, we have to really push for campaign finance, including state subsidy. Mahalaga ito kasi kung isa-subsidize ng Estado, nagiging open din to public audit yung finances ng partido at napakahalaga ng transparency sa reporting ng finances ng ating mga political parties to ensure we also temper yung napakamahal magastos na election sa Pilipinas. And just to add to that, kung hindi pa kaya ng legislation, definitely the political parties should rise up to the challenge of also changing the political culture within our political parties. Kaya ba natin magpasa ng anti-dynasty sa ating mga internal party processes and documents? Kaya ba natin natin i-report yung ating finances sa ating mga National Council and National Congresses. Kami proud kami sa akbayan kasi regular kami mag-report ng mga gastusin namin sa aming members at sa mga mga processes. At kaya ba natin tayo ang pipili ng kandidato natin? Ako proud ako, Lisa ran 3 times bago siya nanalo sa Senado. All the time na tumakbo siya, deliberation yun sa akbayan. Hindi automatic na gusto kong tumakbo, tatakbo ka agad. Kailangan pagdebatehan. In fact, hindi yun agad consensus. I think over a decade ago, there were debates. Sino ba ang tatakbo? Tatakbo ba tayo sa Senado? Even candidate selection. Kaya ba natin gawin yung ganung political posture within our parties? So, for sure, mahalaga yung good change even from within our parties. Gusto ko lang siguro to end dun sa binanggit ni Ma'am Samira about dun sa BARM and dun sa women. Napaka-exciting i-witness kung anong mangyayari doon sa next BARM elections kasi bukod sa parliamentary system yun, talagang merong hopefully proportional representation ng political parties. Hopefully that can inspire us, political parties engaging at the national elections and also our public to reimagine what a different kind of political system looks like. And dun sa women, kaugnay din sa campaign finance, yung mga partner CSOs, and we believe yung partnership ng partido at civil society mahalaga. We have a group of civil society organizations na nagpo-push for a women empowerment bill, hopefully promoting, incentivizing political parties to field women candidates. So hopefully yung mga ganung mga legislative reforms, masuportahan din natin.
Senator. Well, doon lang sa issue ng political dynasty. Ang iniisip ko kasi, when I made that answer, was President Noynoy Aquino. He was the most honest president this country ever had. And he's a product of a political dynasty, political family. You have the Tanyadas who are good public servants. Hindi mo pwedeng i-deprive yung bayan ng mga ganon dahil may kamag-anak siya. Kailangan maging matino sila. Yun ang importante. We need to push and promote good people regardless of their surnames. Pag nangyari yun, then ayos yung bansa. Regardless kung ang abilido. Kaya nga ngayon, we have a son of a former dictator. Titignan natin. Huwag natin tingnan yung tatay niya, diktador, therefore, gano'n. Hindi, tingnan natin siya on his own merits. Let him prove himself. Di ba? He should not be negated right away. Titingnan natin. So, gano'n lang dapat ang attitude natin sa parties natin. Let's promote good people, hindi lang yung mananalo sa election.
Si Mr. George?
Isang dapat lang siguro tignan din yung prevailing political culture na nag-encompass sa relationship between the electorate and the politicians. Kasi pagdating ng election time, ang tendency palagi who has the biggest election war chest. Nagpo-polarize tingin natin sa electorate, meron siyang in between elections, mayroong latent na socio-political organization na dyan Paglabas na ng resources ng mga politicians, autonomous tao na nag-organize among themselves, aligned with those political forces that has the resources. It is driven, isang malungkot na reality ng ating electorate, most of these mga mahihirap na hoping to benefit something from the politicians, or even an aspiration that we can choose the right leader that can bring really genuine reforms and benefits for the country. So yun palagi siguro isang dapat tignan na ang mga maliliit na mga political parties should also be yung ating political reforms na gusto isulong dapat will address how to even the playing field for all political parties, for them to have the opportunity to communicate their platforms and program to the electorate. Yun lang ang isang siguro, ang media reforms kasama dyan, malaking papel talaga ng media. And sadly, who has the most resources, sila ang most influential. Makikita mo lang agad ng trending sa pag-take off pa lang ng campaign period, pinupolarize agad sa pinaka-top 2 candidates na lang or political parties. eliminating the healthy exchange of ideas and alternatives for the people. So yan siguro dapat ang isang napatignan na aspecto.
Thank you. Sino muna si Attorney Amin, and then si Attorney Bo, and then last word from Attorney Mark. Yeah.
Ang tinitignan kong mas madaling ipasa. Alam natin may problema sa usapin ng political dynasties. At I come from a political family. Ang importante talaga, how do you define a dynasty? And I think this is one issue that has been going around. Will we prevent up to what degree? So let's put that. Between the appeal on political dynasty, I would think it would be easier to pass a bill against nepotism. And it is important that we do not limit it to the term of a president. Dapat hindi yan ibababa if the Constitution will not be amended and it will remain as 6 years. Dapat ang length of time ng isang miyembro sa isang partido hindi bababa dapat ng 10 taon. Para hindi yung bawat change ng administrasyon nagpapalit ng partido. Importante yan. And this is one way, I think, we can start, jumpstart political party reform. Kaya nga, sinabi nga kanina, if it is in the interest, and Leon even mentioned it, if it is within the interest of the ruling administration to pass anti-term nepotism bill, it is right now. So ito yung tingin ko na doable at this point. And then, kasama ng anti-term nepotism bill would be party finance. Importante yan na kailangan natin gawin. Ito yung tipong dapat.
Thank you, Attorney Amin. Si Attorney Bo.
2 points. First, pinag-usapan kayo na is it actually possible to push through these reforms in the legislative body. Okay. I actually think that we have to be creative here because there are creative ways to achieve the same thing. Sabi nga nila, does it matter if the cat is black or white so long as it catches the mice? Diba? One possible, if we're talking about third nepotism jumping from one party to the other, why not explore the Civil Code of the Philippines contract law? Create a contract with your member, and if they jump, they admit to committing estafa. Because in exchange for the membership, they get resources. Okay? Now, if they get resources, all of a sudden they jump the bandwagon, that's damage on the part of the political party. You're worrying about the long-term process in the courts. The right to appeal is statutory. Put there in the contract, you waive it and you admit it already. Estafa includes moral turpitude. If you're convicted for moral turpitude, you cannot run. There are creative ways to approach the same problem through different means. Because if you keep doing the same thing and expect all of a sudden a different result, but it's not coming, the fault is upon us already. Creativity. We have to be the Napoleon Bonaparte here, not si Pancho pati si Don Quixote. Second point, actually, in addition to the first point, how do you beat patronage? You provide better patronage. How? Somehow the political party must be an economic engine. That's it, an economic engine. A value, if not money, through services, your lawyers, your doctors. Go to a community, provide free services. Pagdating sa ano din, compute it. Sa isang taon po, nakakatipid kayo ng 10,000 piso dahil sa aming partido dahil hindi nyo kailangan magbayad ng doktor. Ipagpapalit nyo sa 500. Again, let's be creative. Let's view it from a different perspective because if it's already there, sabi nga ni Bob Dylan, the answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Let us listen to the wind. It's there. Diba? Don't try to rewrite the stars. Just draw new constellations. Second point, corruption and yung political dynasties. I have to agree with Senator Trillanes. Look at Singapore. That's a dynasty. But they're so good. They even got Taylor Swift for 6 straight days. Exclusive. Diba? Kumbaga, point. Okay. Sa akin lang, kumbaga, of course, we don't have to agree with everything here. But outcomes, diba? They're able to provide for their people. But point is, here's the thing, diba? Corruption was also discussed. Why are we corrupt? That's a question you have to ask. May nakuusap akong Swiftie na supplier sa gobyerno. Sabi ko sa inyo yun, di ba? Taylor Swift cuts across all demographics. Di ba? They are more than willing to make sacrifices if there is a direction for this country. And that, I think, is a fundamental issue. Eh. Why? Why are we corrupt? Or why is the country corrupt in a bigger sense of things? Perhaps because we many do not see a future for this country. Because if you see a future, you are willing to make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. Have we stopped dreaming as a country? And what is the Filipino dream? One thing, ito lang sabi nga nila, Filipino dream is how to become a foreigner. Diba, mag-a-apply abroad. Diba? May pamangkin po ako, final point na sir. Napakahusay. Lives abroad, diba? Because produkto po ako ng mga OFW because my sisters went abroad, better opportunities. And that's the reason I was able to afford law school. In the best law school in Rockwell. So, hanggang doon lang kami. Pero, here's the thing, diba? Napakahusay niya. Napakabait. I even wrote a post about her. I was teaching her how to invest at a very young age of 15. But when she was 18, around 10 years old, she asked my ate, are we Filipinos? Ang sagot sa kanya nung ate ko, yes, we're Filipinos. And you know what my pamangkin asked in return? If we are Filipinos, why are we here? The Filipino dream should be how to build a country, a home that will be defended come what may. That will provide you the opportunities and will convince you to make sacrifices for long-term gains. So I think part of fighting corruption, let us dream. And part of fighting the corruption, let us, quoting Taylor Swift, begin again.
Okay, thank you, Attorney August. Final word from Attorney Crandall.
Yes, when you have a good political party system, that's a good equalizer against money candidates, kaya famous or even candidates coming from political dynasties. With respect to the political dynasty, hindi siya katulad ng cholesterol, may bad or good eh. So sa Constitution, bawal siya. So it's really up to the Congress to come up with a law, define the parameters. Now with respect to the commissional elections, faithful naman kami ang commission really to carry out its constitutional statutory mandate. In fact, many of the decisions, others will find it as failures on the part of the commission. So, pero not ito na pumunta sa Supreme Court. Yung iba na-appeal, iba na. But we tried, the commission is trying its best really na maging faithful siya sa kanyang constitutional statutory mandate.
Thank you very much, Attorney Crandall. That ends our panel discussion. But before we break for lunch, again, thank you to our panelists, si Balik David, Mr. Leon Flores, former Congressman MDSU, Attorney Rita Nyada, former Senator Sonny Trillanes. Again, my apologies earlier. Si Mr. George Azuelo.
Actually, invited si Yorme dito, pero I don't know kung hindi nakapunta si Yorme. But I hope nakamakakita. Hanggang hapon pa kasi ito eh.
Please don't leave your seats yet because I'm going to call on Dean Randy Tuano and Dean Julio Tehangi to provide some tokens for you. And then we'll have a photo opportunity as well.
I hope na makakarating si Yorme at si Mayora. Yes, ako. So, balik tayo mamaya. Mag-lunch lang. See you po later. Ingat kayo.